This is us. She was my main squeeze, my green bees. She once made the sunset wait until I got there. I thought she was the one. Then one day she wandered out of my life and onto a busy highway and was carried away forever. That was the day my heart broke. Well, it didn't break right away. First, it tripped down my rib cage and ricocheted off of my pelvis before putting my intestines in a bunch. At times, it popped up to my larynx and talked to anyone who had an ear to listen. Most people had 2 ears, which usually meant they got sick of everything I had to say twice as quickly. Anyway, during a routine physical 2 weeks later, I found out that my liver had taken over my circulation. Well, the liver didn't last long. It was intoxicated most of the time, and the blood refused to pump itself. So the burden was passed on to my brain. But I have a one-track mind, and my brain quickly got distracted and started to pump my thoughts through my veins. Just reading a book made my left leg twitch, and doing arithmetic would give me an embolism. So my brain got tired of all the confusion and decided that thinking was never its thing to begin with. So it dedicated itself to mastering circulation and left all the thinking to my big toes. In all the confusion, my body was having an identity crisis. My toes smelled, my nose ran, my ears no longer wanted to receive noise and instead wanted to produce it. This left my larynx with the job of listening. Eating suddenly became troublesome because I never knew which direction my digestive system would be running that day. Then everything below the belt decided to secede from the body and form their own province. The lower parts felt like they had been carrying too much of the weight. Proclamations were formed, rallies were held. The lower parts were ecstatic about the prospect of finally being on top. But on the first step, they stubbed a toe, and the legs came crawling back on their own. The entire body was crumbling. Teenage cells were dealing endorphins in the less fashionable capillaries, and the pituitary gland terrorized most of my left arm. My body was in political upheaval and fell under military rule. A battalion of white blood cells struck fear in the organs and was running covert bombing missions against rebel mitochondria. Honestly, I didn't know my ass from my elbow. Finally, the battles were fought, the thumbs wrestled, and the kidney stones passed. The brain took on the job of organizing the pieces, and it gathered up its gray matter to face the task of recomposition. It straightened the hair and tidied up knotted intestines, and made sure that my thigh bone was connected to the hip bone. Even my head, which had been off doing its own thing, was now firmly back on my shoulders. I only found it today. From a dark corner of my chest cavity, I heard my heart clear its throat. It waddled sheepishly through my other organs and sat down. The atriums started first, then the ventricles. My heart, the cause of the whole fiasco, had been found. Now, it's a bit rusty, and at times will skip a beat for no reason. There are still a few burrs on its surface that make my chest ache once in a while, but at least it's been doing its job since she arrived. This is a picture of her. This time, I think I've made a lasting impression.